Ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. Stacy's mom is not the only one that's got it going on. I got it going on also. We're going to be talking about the NFL today, previewing and predicting the upcoming season. There's a lot to talk about. This video is probably not going to be 30 minutes, just for the sole fact that, especially in the beginning of a YouTube channel, most people don't want to sit through 30 minutes of torture if it's something you're not necessarily interested in. I'm not going to do the whole entire league in one video. I don't even think I'm going to do the whole conference in one video, but I'm probably going to try to do 2 divisions, and we'll see where that goes. I do have a book in front of me. Yes, I have knowledge off the top of my head, but the book will provide me with certain things that I do not know, and then I'll provide my own insight on it. This is Lindy's Fantasy Football 2019. I have a magazine every year that I read, and it turns me to Albert Einstein on a topic that I think I'm pretty smart with. There's obviously a lot I don't know. This is all opinion. Feel free to vouch your own opinion, but we are going to get rolling here. We're going to start off with the NFC East, which is, in my opinion, probably the most disastrous division in the NFL, because there are so many teams in that mix, and I feel like every year there's a new division winner, and usually when that's the case, it means one or two things. A, the division is super exciting, or B, the teams are so bad that somebody has to have the most wins. The Dallas Cowboys, that's the team that everybody loves to hate. They're my least favorite team next to the Red Sox in all sports. They do got some issues going on here. Their running back, Ezekiel Elliott, is, to my nuts, holding out on a contract dispute, and that doesn't do any justice for anybody, because in the long run that's just going to lose him money, and it's going to hurt the team dramatically, because they are the Cowboys have a good team. I wouldn't say they have an amazing team, but they do have a good team, and Ezekiel Elliott is one of the main factors for that cause. He is, I don't know if you would say he's the best running back in football, but he is dramatically changes that team, and he is very important and crucial to their success. So I don't know how long he's going to pen to hold out for. He's on his rookie contract. He has 2 years left. Otherwise, last year this team was fairly decent. They were going neck and neck with the Eagles for the division. Dak Prescott, I see it a little bit differently than everybody else. I think he's a fairly decent quarterback. I wouldn't say he's a Carson Wentz kind of quarterback, but he does have a lot of things that benefit him with his team. They have a great offensive line. Like I said, Ezekiel Elliott is a monster at running back. Jason Garrett is returning as their coach. It says here that he's 77-59 in the regular season, but I do believe that he is on the hot seat, because the Cowboys have made progress, but they're not where they're supposed to be, especially for a team that is America's team. There's so much work, I think, that they need to do. Ezekiel Elliott, like I said, we don't really know if Ezekiel Elliott's going to be playing. You know, I think every player should go after what they're worth, but to an extent, also respect the deal that they signed. Receivers, they did lose Dez Bryant, but Dez Bryant had an injury. He didn't really play with the Saints last year, I think, at all. They have fantastic offensive linemen. Helps Dak to protect him. Linemen are very crucial to an NFL team, as everybody knows. They do have Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper did make his presence known on the Cowboys this past season. Was very important. They do have quality receivers, so their offense is I would say it's fairly good. They have great defensive linemen also. DeMarcus Lawrence is a factor in that. Their linebackers are great. Their secondary needs some work. I think the Cowboys are going to be competing for the division, and if they win it or not, it's all going to depend on what the Eagles do, because I think if the Eagles are healthy, that they'll be taking the division. I would look for the Cowboys to have a decent season. Like I said, majority of it's going to depend on what Ezekiel Elliott does, in terms of if he plays, he doesn't play, because it will dramatically hurt the team's success if he does not play. Yes, they have a team without him, but he has been so crucial to their success and establishing himself as one of the best running backs in the league. Are they going to win 10 games this year? Depends on if Zeke plays. I think if he doesn't play, I don't know if they crack that 10-win mark. If he does play, I think they will. If the team stays healthy and everybody's working on the same page, I think it's really, like I said, it's going to come down to them and the Eagles in this division. So I would look for the Cowboys to have a decent season, and there's a good chance of playoff hopes. I don't want to say they're the worst team in New York, because for a city so big, there are so many teams that suck the life out of New York. I'm a Knicks fan, so that is not a fun time. Has not been. New York Giants are next in the NFC East. I think everybody was critical when they drafted Daniel Jones, especially, I'm pretty sure it was the number 6 pick. Everybody was kind of like questioning their head. I personally thought they were going to draft Dwayne Haskins. I thought that he would have been a better draft, but like I said, you can't always judge a book by its cover. 9 times out of 10, the number 1 overall draft pick does not have an extended success in the NFL. There have been flashes of it. Daniel Jones, Eli Manning. I think Eli Manning personally should have been done a while ago. I don't really think that him starting, they're not going to win another Super Bowl with him starting. They're not, they're not achieving, they're not winning the division. They're not going to the playoffs. They're not setting the league on fire. I think that by the time October hits, we might be seeing Daniel Jones given the keys to the kingdom, at least maybe temporarily. I don't see it. I don't see Eli Manning doing much this year. I don't even know if he's going to play the whole year, because Giants fans are so impatient, as most New York fans are. And Daniel Jones, he's gonna get his licks this year, I definitely think. Running backs go. This is the strongest part of the team, I think. I think Saquon Barkley set the league on fire last year as a running back for the Giants and the league in general, because I know some of you are going to kill me when I say this, but the Giants' second best receiver on the team is running back. So, Saquon Barkley was phenomenal last year just for a rookie season. He was ranked 16th on NFL's top 100 players of 2019. For someone after his first season to be ranked 16, that's very special. But again, it's one season. I think a lot of people do that with players, where they hype on they start riding, no one can see them, and they fall off earth. There's been plenty of players that have done that. RG3 was one of those players. Barkley should have a fantastic year, but with the receiver confusion, I think that he's going to be taking a lot of snaps, and he's going to be taking a lot of the loads. So he did a great job last year. He'll be getting receiving yards as well. Receivers, I don't really know what most people would say about the Odell Beckham trade. I think that in the long run, it was the smart thing to do, because I feel like when you have someone that's in the locker room, maybe, yes, I think he had good intentions, but if you have someone that's in the locker room that's distracting you or the team from success, that's a problem. I think he was a big head case. I think we all know this. And I think that him leaving the Giants benefits them. You're not going to see it now, but it's something that you're going to see in the future. They did acquire Golden Tate in the offseason. He's a above-average receiver, and I think that's definitely going to help them. But and I think that I don't know how this Giants offense is going to do with pass, especially with Eli Manning at quarterback, not taking anything away from him. Their linemen, much of a mobile quarterback, so for someone that doesn't have a line and can't really run, that just spells sack, fumbles, and bad throws. So I think their line needs to be improved. They started that process, and they got to work on. Their defense it's not good. They do not have a good defense. Their secondary linebackers, they're all bad. There are so many times where the Giants just got torched off of long passes last year, and there's so much that their defense needs help with, and their offense is, besides Barkley and maybe Tate, is really it's going to be it's not going to be pleasant. When I look at this team right now, I don't really look at a football team. I look at a team that needs to get its head out of the shambles, and it's going to be an ugly year for the Giants, I think. By no means are they going to win 1 or 2 games, but it's not going to be a playoff season, and I do not see them lighting anything on fire. So if you're a Giants fan, I hate to burst your bubble, but it's not going to be a year of fun. That's just my opinion. Next up, is who I think is a division favorite. I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles. There's one and one factor only, I think, that we all kind of know. Carson Wentz. He's got hurt the last 2 seasons at some point. The first season, he led the team, I don't know off the top of my head, I want to say it was 13-3, and Nick Foles took over in the playoffs and ended up taking them to the Super Bowl and winning it. Carson Wentz has to stay healthy. When he's on the field and he's playing quarterback, he's a good quarterback. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and I think that when Carson Wentz is on the field, the team tends to, I don't want to say rally behind him, but they're more in unison. If Carson Wentz does go down this year, it is going to be a train wreck for the Eagles. I think Jaguars are going to be fun to watch this year as well. Carson Wentz, like I said, he's proven he has to stay on the field. Carson Wentz has to stay on the field. If Carson Wentz is not on the field, this team's not going to win. You know, they just got Jordan Howard this past offseason for the running back position, and he was very good on Chicago. And I think that he'll do good things on the Eagles. The receivers, they got a receiving core. Zach Ertz is one of the best tight ends in the league. I think maybe put him behind Travis Kelce. Deshaun Jackson is coming right back. He was on the Eagles a little while back. Went to Tampa and gets the trade back. He's getting older. He's got a little bit of age on him, but he's he's still a dangerous threat, and he's definitely one of those receivers that can break through and give you a touchdown. So I would have a very good receiving core, and they have a good offense. Carson Wentz needs to stay healthy for them to do that. Their linemen are fantastic. They have, as long as everyone stays healthy, very good. Defensive end of it, again, there are some problems here. They have a good line. Their special teams is very good. Their secondary and linebackers is a little bit of a question. And I think when your secondary and linebackers are a bit of a question, that it kind of messes up your defense a little bit. They can get sacks. Like I said, they have Fletcher Cox, one of the best DTs in the league. Put him right behind Aaron Donald. Eagles have all the tools to make the playoffs and win the division, and I think that will happen if Carson Wentz stays healthy. I don't know how many times. If anybody wants to count in the comments and see how many times I said Carson Wentz stays healthy, that just shows you how important he is to that team. Like I said, when Carson Wentz goes down, they don't have Nick Foles to run to this time. I expect for the Eagles to have a good year. It all depends on what I said, and I'm not going to say it again because I said it 15 times already. Here with the Washington Redskins. The Redskins are going to improve this year. I don't think they have a choice but to do so. They got the quarterback that I think the Giants should have got in Dwayne Haskins. I think Dwayne Haskins is going to be a very good quarterback. And I think that Dwayne Haskins is going to be fun to watch. He kind of, you know what it is? Just by his stature, he kind of reminds me of Deshaun Watson a little bit. Adrian Peterson is coming back. Yes, he's the running back that never dies, and I don't mean that physically. I think Adrian Peterson is one of the best running backs of all time. I might even put him in top 10. I mean, the guy's 33, and he's still, you know, putting up numbers that you put up when you're 23. The wide receiver position for the Redskins is a bit of a problem. They did lose Deshaun Jackson, like I said earlier. He went to the Eagles. Their linemen are very weak. Josh Norman does need a bounce-back season. He was one of the best corners when he was on the Panthers, and I think that everybody was so excited when he came to the Redskins to see him and Odell match up because all they do is talk trash to each other. That's really it, folks. I'm expecting the Eagles to win this division. Carson Wentz stays healthy. Cowboys are going to be right there. Elliott does have to play. He has to either get his money or decide that, you know what, my team needs me. The Giants are going to be a train wreck. They have a great running back. They don't know what their quarterback situation is. Their receivers, they have one. Their defense is atrocious. And the Redskins, you know, Dwayne Haskins is coming onto the league. We're going to see what he can bring. AP's coming back. Old, but still one of the better running backs in the league. Not a good defense. Redskins are going to be better than people think, but I don't really think they're going to be coming away with this division. And that's really it. This is the NFC East preview. And